Hi everyone, and welcome to the first week of the Conscious Consumption Challenge, the month-long challenge, where we are inspiring you to take a look at the foods you eat, the products that you consume, the different things that kind of you bring into your life, and where they come from, and how to make lifestyle practices that help change not only you and your optimal health, but will start to impact your community, your friends, your family, and also the environment around us, and just seeing how all those circles are really innately connected. So we're really excited to have you be a part of this challenge, and I'm going to let Megan take it over from here.
Thanks, Allie. So awesome, you guys. Let's talk about what conscious consumption is. Conscious consumption is a social movement to raise awareness about the impact of our purchasing decisions on personal health and well-being, social equality, and environmental sustainability. So consuming consciously, which means taking a look at the way in which we're eating, what we're choosing to put into our bodies, both in terms of food and information, and then the source of those products and services, how they got to us. So consuming consciously empowers us to reconnect to the life cycle of our products and services. That could be through increased personal well-being coming from eating more mindfully. It could be increased social responsibility that comes from making purchasing choices that are aligned with our values, or increased environmental health that arises from demanding food growing practices that don't damage or deplete the land. So consuming consciously helps us to remember that deep connection between our own personal health and well-being and that of all the beings and land around us, as well as the larger production practices that are impacting our global economy right now. Cultivating awareness when purchasing, consuming, and disposing of foods and products can help us to create a more balanced world. And at COPIA Health, we believe that consuming consciously is actually a really great way to create global change. And so this movement can inspire you to ask yourself questions like, is this item made in line with my values? Is this food actually healthy for me? Am I supporting the local economy? Are the people who produce this item treated and compensated fairly? Is this item built to last? Is there a greater personal need that I'm trying to fulfill? So right now, the global ecosystem really reflects decades of a kind of progressive disconnection from the source of our foods and products, reactive and distracted ways of satisfying our cravings, and a myopic focus on profit and efficiency. This imbalance in our global economy has led to nearly 1 billion people malnourished and another 1 billion people managing obesity and lifestyle-related conditions. Increased awareness about our ecosystem that we're a part of and create has begun the movement of conscious consumption, conscious business practices, efforts for sustainability, fair trade, organic and non-GMO movements, and zero waste operations. Consuming consciously also includes not only making sure that we're no longer eating unhealthy foods, but that we're not consuming stressful, unhealthy, false, meaningless information in the conversations that we engage in and in the media that we expose ourselves to. The idea of consuming consciously is in direct alignment with yogic values of mindfulness, simplicity, purposeful action, and the greater good. It's about learning to make lifestyle choices that balance personal satisfaction, social equality, and planetary sustainability. So Allie's going to talk to you about how we're asking you to do that right now in your own life.
So the question is, when you come and you get all this amazing information, it's like, so what do I do with it and how do I change? And I think that a huge thing that we are proponents of here at COPIA Health is that it's really about activating your lifestyle in really small, meaningful ways that can be sustainable in the long run. So, if you wake up one day and you decide that you want to run a marathon, you don't go out after having never run a marathon before and run 26 miles. So instead, you train. And we're basically asking you to retrain the ways that you have had thought patterns or emotional patterns, the way that you have exhibited your power in terms of purchasing or the foods that you eat. And we want you to do it in really slow ways that feel sustainable, because otherwise, where's this going to go? So what we're really encouraging you to do over this week specifically is to take some time and look at some of the foods that you buy at the grocery store, some of the products that you're purchasing or regularly use around your house, cleaning supplies, beauty products, things like that, and take a little bit of time looking at the life cycle of where they come from. So maybe we use some sort of organic soap, right? But when we actually trace it back to where it came from, which was in Africa on a farm where people were, kind of overworked in order to make that practice happen, it's that what we want you to connect to is not saying, oh, this is a bad or a good choice, but more so an awareness around the energy that happens in that exchange. So that coming from that we're consuming all the processes of that. We're consuming maybe the negative work relationship that happened. We're consuming the long area that it had to travel and what happens to the environment in order to get that product from its place of production into our hands. And so again, without judgment, we really want you to take this next week and just look at things in your life in a way that's open, with awareness, with sensitivity and humility, and just kind of seeing where they come from. And I know we can speak for ourselves and say, there are areas in our lives where things seem more easeful to buy the local product or the organic product, and there's areas where it's really challenging. So just kind of noticing, are you what you eat? Are you what you wear? Are you what you consume? And in what ways can you make minor shifts in your life with awareness, with mindfulness, to really bring this into a daily practice? And how does your choice and you raising a hand to do those practices impact your friends, your family, the community that you exist in, the people that you work with, and the environment? And do it as a challenge that feels exciting, because that's how we want it to be. We want it to not be like a big burden, but actually something that excites you to reconnect to all these layers that exist in the world. So that's kind of our first week of what is conscious consumption and how you can dive into the practices of conscious consumption. And we hope you have fun doing it. Thanks for going along with the ride.
Thank you guys for being such willing participants and change makers in your own communities. And please feel free to get back to us with ideas or things that happen for you during this challenge, and let us know how you're changing the world.
Talk to you soon.